Hello everybody, you are with Alandris, welcome on my YouTube channel. I gave you appointment last week for the second episode of the serial Top on my channel, and I will focus my attention today about the support in the game. All the purpose that I will do for you will be in according to the meta game, and I will consider all hero as level 100 and full gears. First of all, I want to show you the list of the heroes that I consider as support and what is one support for me. Let's begin now. Here is my list of supports in the game. For most of them, it's characters who are actually totally underestimated in according to their lack of damage. But what is a support? A support isn't a character who will deal a crazy amount of damage. It's a character who will give you advantage in the fight in according of 3 points other than damage. If they can deal damage, for some of them it exists. It's the cherry on the cake, like we can tell, but the main things is 3 points. First point, good control, so able to silence, blind, stun, magical energy burner, ultimate breaker, something like that. Second point, it's character who is able to buff your team or unbuff the enemy team. Buff your team, for example, like intelligence, strength, agility, armor, magical armor, and unbuff the enemy team by magical armor or armor. It's possible too. And last point, character who is able to heal and give the life for your team will be really good in this group of heroes. So we will begin right now by the 5 position.
Strike them down! Strike them all down!
In the 5 position of my classment, it's Disbringer. It's a surprise, I think, for most of you, because this character is not so much famous, but actually, especially in the metagame, is really strong, and I will show you why. But let's begin first of all by a focus. If we check his statistic, we can see that it's one support who is not squishy at all, because he has something like 41k HP with pretty normal armor, nothing crazy, but 480 it's not bad. Magical resistance 430, it's not bad too, and he has improved healing of 230%, which is really amazing in according to this item. If we check now his skill, so his ultimate is invocation of golem. He has 1 heal or 1 damage over time. It's depend of the life of the hero in the battlefield. For example, if you have one enemy hero who is really low on HP, he will choose to put the damage over time. If you have one of your hero who is low in HP, he will choose to heal your hero. Fist of Flame, it's when you have the golem who is invoked, is able to stun the enemy. It's worked pretty well. And the last, I think it's the less good skill for Disbringer. When the golem is on the field, he deal damage around him. Were correct, but nothing really interesting. Let's see now in the fight why I like so much this character. I will show you for Disbringer only one fight, because all is resumed in this fight. We can see the power of his heal during the fight. And he begins on the witch now, which will be full life soon. Even after losing 33% of her life, we can see that now Cleric lost a lot of life, but he will recover because of him, because of Disbringer, and because of Soul Hunter. Now invocation of the golem. He will absorb the legendary skill of Imperial Executioner. He will make Griffin ultimated in the wrong way, like we see right now, and he will even absorb the ultimate of Imperial Executioner. And finally, we spread so much damage from the enemy team that the fight is already over. And second one, because like I told, this hero has energy who grown up really quickly, so even after using his ultimate, the time is necessary to kill the golem is nearly ready to cast another golem just after that. The golem absorbs the ultimate of Apollo, and the fight is over. So in the statistic, he deals nearly nothing. We don't care at all about that, but finally we won the fight against one team, excepted for Puppet Master who is not well geared, who is pretty interesting. So let's see now the strengths and the weakness of this hero in detail. For the strength of Disbringer in some word, first of all, it's one aspect that I didn't explore in this video. It's the PvE, and this hero is great for PvE, is a great help for the portal with the Robo Fighter, and is a great help for most of the Elite chapter because of his heal and because of his golem who is able to spread the damage. Other advantage of this hero, the heal in the mono target is really strong. His energy is grown up pretty quickly during the fight, and his golem come really quickly, even if he doesn't have some item with initial energy for the moment, perhaps at red 2, we will see. It's man. It's a good advantage, even if it's not crazy good. In the metagame against Rose Fencer, he's not that bad. He's able to spread the damage. It's one of the main advantage of him. His golem is able to remove a big part of the enemy damage. He can turn Griffin, he can turn Rose Fencer, he can turn Corrupted Angel, he can absorb the ultimate of new kid hero like Imperial Executioner. It's a really nice support for that. And last positive point for him, he is not squishy, because we saw that his amount of HP is pretty correct for support, and even his resistance are pretty interesting. Let's see now the minus, the weakness of this hero. For the weakness of Disbringer, first of all, I see one little point. His heal is interesting for one target, but is not AoE heal like we can have for other support, and in some kind of situation when we receive a big amount of damage, he is not able to save all the people in the same time. Second little weakness for this hero, it's the main for me, it's the RNG point. Because for example, his golem fall down where he wants. So if he fall down behind the hero, when you have directional hero like Rose Fencer, Corrupted Angel, Griffin, it's amazing for you and the fight will be nearly win every time. If he fall down in front, the difference won't be so amazing, and we don't have any control about this point. And second point is about his heal another time, because sometimes he heals, sometimes he gets damage over time. And for this, we know how the mechanic is working, but we don't have control of this point. And sometimes we are dreaming that this hero will heal your teammate and he will not do. And sometimes we dream that he will do damage on one other hero and he will heal one of your teammate. And it's one aspect with little random, and we can do nothing about that. It's finished for Disbringer. Let's discover now the 4th position in the classement.
I will not rest until shadow and darkness are driven from the land.
In 4th position for my classement, it's a Cleric. Cleric is a really interesting support. If we can see his statistic, it's a support who has a crazy good amount of HP with a 57k. He has one armor class, pretty the items that we can find in the game, because for one character who is not here for tank, is most of the time in second lane. We can use him as tank, but I don't advise you that. We will have 920, nearly 930 of armor, and one magic resistance who is not so high, but 430, it's pretty correct. Also interesting statistic, improve healing 170%, and this statistic is interesting because he has this item and he get 45% heal more more when he receives a heal, and finally he has 100 plus 100 of initial energy. About his skill, we can see that it's legendary hero, so he has 5 skill. First skill, it's one shield for all the team, who will protect them for incoming physical damage. And also interesting to know that, for example, against Rose Fencer, if this skill is activated and the damage of Rose Fencer are not sufficient to deal even one on damage, he will not charm nobody. The heal, who is a mono-target heal, something like 11k if the target doesn't have some bonus of receiving heal. Counter curse with shield against magic damage in this position, and this with a passive skill, a fourth skill with passive, will reduce all the incoming physical damage by 10% for whole team. And finally the interesting legendary skill, who will get plus 238 magical resistance for every character who will get healed by him. And this bonus stay really long time. Let's see now in fight how it's going on. For Cleric, I will show you one example too in timeout team, because it's one of the usage that we can do with Cleric, and we can see that he's able to give good part of the heal, even if it's difficult to see in the heal, because we don't have in the record of the fight the quantity of heal who has been done during all the fight. We have aggressive setup in front, but even with this aggressive setup, we are able for the moment to survive. And let's see right now what is important. Our turtle fighter is nearly died, so normally it's bad for us. She will go in other side. She has a shield, magic shield on her. And finally she gets nearly no damage from the Imperial Executioner and survive from the ultimate of Sorceress to die finally, but we waste 2 ultimate for him instead of 1. Can see now that all the team, another time he gives the shield for one hero who absorb nearly 100% of the ultimate of Imperial Executioner. The protection, physical protection for everyone, and the fight is finished. I lost only one hero. So if we check the statistic, 6000 damage. We know 100% that this hero is not here for that, and that it's even one of the weakness of his hero. So we will see now the strength and the weakness of this hero. The strength of Cleric is somewhere. First of all, it's a really tanky hero. We could see in introduction that he has 57k HP and crazy armor and correct magical resistance, because it comes the second point of his strength, and when he will get healed by himself he will get plus 238 of magical resistance, and it's a pretty interesting buff who will stay really long time. He can be in front line in some situation, but only if you have behind him some other healer. If you put him alone in front line, you will lost all the interest of this character. It's not a tank, it's a support. So in front line he can do the job sometimes, but he must be paired with the heal. Let's see now the minus of this hero. Cleric doesn't have so much weakness, but main weakness that he has, it's damage. Okay, he's support, so he's not here for dealing damage, but this hero doesn't deal damage at all. If you finish one fight when you will deal more than 10,000 damage, you can go in the church and burn a candle. It will be something like a miracle. Second weakness is for me the heal, who is only for one target. It's not big weakness, but if most of your teammates take damage, he will not be able to save everyone in the same time. And the last weakness, I told in the strange that he can be in the front position, but it's one weakness too, because if you put him in front position without the right support behind him, he will be interrupted all the time and he will not be able to heal, he will not be able to put his magical shield, he will not be able to cast any spell, and you will lose a lot of efficiency. That's why he's really situational hero. Even if he's really strong actually in the metagame, it's one hero who must be used in kind of situation. That's why he's in my 4th position, and let's now see Discover who is in 3rd position.
You want to fight? Fight me!
In 3rd position of my supports classement we have Silencer. So if we check his statistic right now, we can see that he has 40k HP, close to 500 armor class, close to 500 magical resistance, the classic 35% chance to resist silence. We have the speed. The skills increase by 5%, so it's not bad. 100 of initial energy, and the skill will be upgraded by 3, so it's like if he's actually 103 by skill. His skill now, so most important skill, even if all skills are important, this one is amazing. It's a massive silence for all the enemy team. Will have crazy long duration, something like 10 seconds, close to 10 seconds of silence, so every magical heroes are not able to cast nothing. For example, if you have even Demon Assassin is staying and don't do nothing because her normal attack is magical, so she can't do nothing. The silence will touch one target at the beginning and deal little damage and silence him for a long time. Befuddle will who will burn some energy for the target and deal some hour damage. So this skill is interesting because it's work in AoE, not only for one target. And finally the last one, increase holy damage by 1153. So this it's interesting because his normal attack is holy damage, and don't forget one thing, holy damage ignores the armor, ignores the magical resistance. It's 1 damage with outside of the world, if we can tell. So let's see now in the fight how it's going on. For my team, to show you Silencer, I choose in front of me one timeout team. So you can guess and know that the team that I show you right now has close to 100% win rate against all timeout team. The job is done by the synergy for sure, but Silencer has really important role to play in this fight. You can see that he already silenced a lot of time, and even with my Rose Fencer, who died totally quickly without to deal nearly any damage, we will be able to finish this fight totally easily. We have the silence right now, and silence right now will be enough long to close totally the mouth of Soul Hunter, who won't be able to heal nobody and will die right now. Another silence who is not so useful now that it's physical hero, but the damage has been down, and if we check the statistic, for sure he didn't deal more damage than Sorceress, it should be a problem, but 104,000 damage isn't that bad. He's crazy good as damage. It's the same than even more than Imperial Executioner in this fight. Rose Fencer is died totally quickly, so it didn't deal any damage, and we finish even with 30 seconds of time left. We will see now the strengths and the weakness of Silencer. As strength for the Silencer, we have some important point. First point is like his name, it's good hero for silence, probably one of the best in the game, with his ultimate who stay for a long time, something like 10 seconds, it's crazy, and even his first skill who will deal some damage, silence only one character, but for good time, and it gives you a control for the enemy battlefield. The second point is important, it's linked for his third skill. He will burn the energy of the enemy team and retard them totally. 206 energy is 20% of the enemy team, and it's area skill. So for example, if you pair him with one hero, will be able to knock back the team and to do one pack for the team. Every hero of the enemy team will lost 20% of their energy. It's really important. This hero is also able to do some good damage, like you saw. For sure it's not damage dealer, will do 300k damage in one fight, but to deal 100k damage, it's even good to take. And don't forget that it's only damage, and you will not have resistance for that. Magical resistance doesn't work, and physical resistance doesn't work. And finally, the last important point, this hero is totally suitable for a lot of teams, especially in the metagame, because it's not often in the metagame that you have one full physical team in front of you, where he will be nearly useless. Most of the time you have a physical hero, magical hero, and you can pair him really easily against all this sort of team. Let's see now his weakness. As weakness for Silencer, we have only one point. It's important point, but this hero must be defended. If you let him alone, he's not able to survive. Like can survive, for example, Cleric, because of his armor and because of his heal. This hero doesn't have heal, so he can't survive alone. He must be protect him with Imperial Executioner, protect him with backline who is able to bump, because if not, Arcane Sapper will destroy him. And even if you put him in the as backline, even if it's not backliner, you can put him in the as backline, he will be killed by ninja totally quickly. So don't forget, defend Silencer and you will have good result. Let's discover now who is the second of my classmate.
Kiss your life. Goodbye.
In second position of my classmate, it's Manipulator. So statistics of Manipulator are pretty interesting. We have 35,000 HP, 420 armor, 420 magical resistance, and other stats that is interesting for us, it's the initial energy plus 200, who give her 20% of energy at the beginning of the fight. Now about her skill. Let's begin by her ultimate skill, Trance, with ultimate breaker. So when she casts, you have 2-3 seconds during the time. If opponents are trying to cast her ultimate, they will be cancelled, so it's really strong. One taunt, you have one Manipulator will target one of the ally. She will put for him magical bonus and force all the enemy team to attack, but to attack only in white hit. So it's interesting because all the skills like disable of all the enemy skill. Magical Fury, it's like knockback, we will push 3 enemy in the same time and deal some damage, not so bad. And the last skill with buff will give 309 critical magic for whole team. So let's see in a fight how it's going on. As example for Manipulator, I take one fight where I paired her with a Silencer to control the ultimate of Rose Fencer, because normally if we did the good job and if we are lucky, Rose Fencer won't ultimate even one time. We'll see if it's working. Now will be the taunt, he will be burned, he lost 200 energies, they get taunt. Now we will have the ultimate of Manipulator, who will be the cherry on the cake. And we will cancel two ultimate on this wave, with the ultimate of Rose Fencer. And now we have 2 intelligent heroes who are silenced. And the fight is over. We'll check the statistics. So we have 30 seconds stay we finish 30 seconds before the end. Statistic 62,000 damage for one support. It's good damage, we can tell, because not all support even tank are not able to deal this amount of damage. And she cancel 4 ultimate during the fight. And control, get a big control for the battlefield. Let's see now her strength and her weakness. As strength for Manipulator, we have some important points. First of all, she has 3 control, 1 knockback, 1 taunt, and 1 ultimate breaker. It's a lot for only 1 hero. Second point, she's buffer. She gets 309 magic critical for whole team, and we know the importance of this amount of critic for every hero. Third advantage for her, she's suitable in a lot of team. You saw a crazy quantity of team in the metagame who are using her because she's strong and she's possible to put nearly everywhere. And last point, and not little, she deal damage. Not big damage like 200-300k damage in one round, but she's able to do something like 70-100k damage in one round, so it's really interesting for a support. Let's see now her weakness. As weakness for Manipulator, we saw her statistic and we see that she didn't have so much resistance and HP. She's little squishy and must be defended. Main point, if you play with Manipulator as backliner and solo backliner, it's like suicide because she will be easy target for ninja, for example, who will be able to kill her quickly, and soon for Puppet Master, who will, I'm sure, do exactly the same job. Excepted that, she doesn't have weakness in my thinking, and it's really good support. That's why she is in my second position. Let's now discover who is the first of my classement.
Come, spirits, bless them all!
And the winner of my support classement is Soul Hunter. This hero was totally underestimated some months ago. He's now one standard in the metagame and is really strong. We will discover why right now. Statistic, interesting point before to begin, it's Undead and Pilgrim. It doesn't have crazy much interest right now, except it Pilgrim with the buff of magical resistance from Mystic Legendary, but in the close future it will change a lot, I can tell you, and from all heroes charge, the type of the hero will begin really important. He has 57k HP, so not bad at all. Class armor 570, it's not so high for frontliner, but not bad. And magical resistance 810, it's a hero who has the most magical resistance in the game. You have 30% of resist silence, it's standard, 210% of improved healing, and that's why this hero became famous because of these items that you get in Red 1. After that you have 5% skill speed, not bad at all, and 100 initial energy. Let's check the skill now. So ultimate skill will deal and stun the target in according to the missing HP that she already had. So sometimes it can deal a really good amount of damage, especially because the ultimate need time to be charged. The second skill is the most interesting skill from him that we have, because he will heal all the ally in the range. Usually will touch front line, mid line, and sometimes the first hero of the back line by great amount of heal, something like 11-12k of heal, and even more if the target gets bonus of healing. He will deal damage also, because the balls that he will launch will heal the ally and deal damage for the enemy, even if damage are really low. Gift of Life, it's for him, bonus of 8400 HP, so not bad at all. And finally, Gift of Death, increase magical resistance by 202, that's why he has so much resistance. So he doesn't have crazy much skill, but we see that the skills are really useful. We will see right now in the fight. I want to illustrate Soul Hunter in fight where it's sweet totally good in timeout team. So this hero till now was used mainly in this kind of team. Now it's begin to change and he is used everywhere, if I can tell, as support for Devastator, as support for other hero like that who need to be support. So if we see how goes the fight, we will see that Evan in first position, and when he gets the ultimate of Imperial Executioner, in critical hit he gets only 32k damage. It's really interesting because, like you know, Evan the tank get more or around 40k damage. It's 8k less damage in critical due to his magical resistance. Every time that he heals, you can see that he gives back 12k HP for everyone, and even more for a Cleric who has a bonus for healing reside. Is able to deal some kind of damage. It's really not much, but like you see, we kill 2 heroes. All my heroes are nearly full life, and the fight is nearly over. So in arena or even in Grand Arena, we should win this fight. We'll see now the statistic of the fight. It's pity that we can't see the healing right now. I hope in the future. But we see that 70k damage, 75k damage for Soul Hunter. It's much. Usually he deal pretty less, but he did 2 times ultimate on low HP targets, so he deal a big amount of damage for that. Usually it's not his main thing. So let's see now the strength and the weakness of this hero. Soul Hunter doesn't have that much main important point, but the points that he has are really strong. First of all, magical resistance, like you saw, huge magical resistance. He can survive for all the magical damage that are in the game right now, and it's a really good point. Second point, it's his AoE heal. Every 8 seconds, 9 seconds, he is able to heal all his team for 12k HP minimum, because if the target is able to receive plus 20%, plus 30% bonus heal, it will be even more. It's really pity for me that we can't have recount for healing, because this hero will be far in front of all other healer. And third advantage for me, this hero is suitable in a lot of team. I show you this example in a timeout team, but even in an aggressive lineup, you can use him as support. It means, for example, Devastator, who need to be supported, will be happy to have a Soul Hunter behind. The same for Rose Fencer or a Corrupted Angel. All these heroes who are strong, but if they are healed, they are even more strong. And for this, Soul Hunter is amazing. Let's see now his weakness. As weakness for Soul Hunter, we have only 2 little points. First point, it's a mistake who has been done by some players to put him as tank in frontline. It's big mistakes, because due to his armor class he receives a lot of damage, die quickly, and don't do his job with to hold the team in life. So don't do it, don't put him in front line. It's not tank, it's support. Second little things, it's his damage. In the example that I show you, it was a good amount of damage for support, but normally he mustn't do this kind of amount. It's a hero who is really low in damage, but it's support, so I put it in minus, but we don't care really about that. Last little things, for it's one hint for people who are patient to listen me till the end. This hero will be soon legendary, I'm sure of that. His legendary skill will be something like summoning one skeleton every time that one of his ally die, and it will be even more powerful than what it is now, because it will be able to spread some damage. So it's finished for Soul Hunter, it's finished for this top 5 support, and it's now time to conclude. To conclude this top 5, I want to advise every players who are thinking that heroes who don't deal crazy much damage are bad to try these supports and to come back and speak with me in the eyes and tell me that it don't work. If you tell me that, I won't believe you. I'm sure you will have a good surprise. Thank you for watching. Don't hesitate to like the video and to subscribe on my channel if you are enjoying my work. You can discover also the actuality of Heroes Charge on my Facebook page, and it's pretty rich in the moment because tomorrow will be the new patch, the new update of Heroes Charge with chapter 19, Elite and Normal, with Portal 9, with new heroes, and all of this you will find it soon on my YouTube channel. So see you guys next time. Bye bye!